Game time, baby! Ladies and gentlemen, we got Division 7 coming up. Heroes Lounge Division 7, a best-of-3 series, and we're kicking it off on Infernal Shrines. The Facepalm Tacticians are going up against Source. I guess inspired by Kaiser Source from The Unusual Suspects. At least that's how I interpret that. Probably means something completely different, but honestly, I don't really care. I like my explanation. Either way, on the left side, Black Milk on Malfurion. We have Jug Sully on ETC, Dragon on Leoric, Vidra on Vala, Malice on Jaina. And over to the right side of the map, the red team with Tourmaline on Hanzo, Artrek on Mal'Ganis, Simotak on Rega, Kazgab on Kel'Thuzad, and De Niro is playing Sonya. And now that I actually see the username, De Niro would make a lot of sense with the Kaiser Soze reference. So, yeah. Okay, as we're heading into this, let's have a little bit of a look. This is Division 7, and as I so often repeat myself with, Division 7 is the lowest division in Heroes Lounge, the amateur league. So the players in Division 7 are roughly between bronze and gold level on average. It depends a little bit on if we're talking about the top teams in... Oh, Vidra! Look at that, beasting it on the mechanics here with the auto attacks. Nicely done, quick early kill. But he might overstep a little bit too much, still gets away. Okay, he had definitely a hype energy drink or two. That was kind of nice there. Jump out, kill against ETC, what's happening here? They are really going for it. As I was about to say, Division 7, the lowest division in Heroes Lounge, the amateur league, which means that on average, all the players are between gold and bronze. It depends a bit on if you're looking at the upper end or the lower end of all of this. Seems like Vidra is just ripping that Kel'Thuzad apart. So yeah, Kel'Thuzad actually in this case can get some action done in the late game, but the problem is his hit point pool. Hit point pool is always nasty on him, so yeah, there's that. But okay, let's see. Top side, Dragon is already pushing this out against Sonya now too, but this should be a spicy one. I mean, we have a very aggressive Vala player over here. Hyper aggressive. Yeah, Kel'Thuzad is trying to lock him down too. Rega, of course, in play, probably with Bloodlust, as we see it as the normal talent these days. And before we're heading any far deeper into this, guys, this is, again, as I said, low-level play, so there are going to be a lot of talents that don't really make a whole lot of sense and are bad. I'm going to cover some of those, explain why they're bad choices. Some others I'll probably just have a bit of a laugh and just be reminded that players that play here are totally on board with being made a bit of fun of and listen to some of the advice. So don't be offended on someone else's behalf. If you are, then you're wrong on this channel anyways. So yeah, just a little friendly hint. Consider this your trigger warning. We don't want to melt anybody away here. Talking about melting. Okay, so this is already one point where I can just start ranting a little bit. This is a really shit talent. This talent is total garbage. Never pick this. I can kind of see why Vidra is actually going for it. I mean, he seems to be, at least on the mechanical side, probably one of the better players over here. So far, that doesn't really seem too bronzy behavior to me. The guy knows how to stutter step and knows how to actually go for an A move too. So that's already more than you can say from most Division 7 players. So I can understand why he might be tempted to go into a bit of a play like this. But let me just remind you real quickly that in a normal setup, this is a horrible talent. Creed of the Hunter is totally useless. In Division 7, I can see that a player that has better mechanics than pretty much everybody else in the game might be tempted to just meme around a little bit. But you either go into an arrow build these days, or you go into a multi-shot build. Never go into this as an auto attack build. If you want to play auto attack, that just simply means you pick Manticore on level 16 and you pick the Farfly Quiver on level 20. Those are your auto attacker talents, and then you can really do a whole lot of work with Vala. Hot Pursuit on level 1 is obviously more or less mandatory, unless you go into an arrow build to, for example, control either the Immortal on Battlefield of Eternity, on bosses on Curtis Tolo and other maps. But this is a bad talent, especially when you're far behind. And normally, you will never see someone complete their talent until the late game. This is a bit more of a brawly setup, so in this case, he might actually get some value out of it. But you don't win games because you pick Creed of the Hunter. You win games despite it. Just so we are clear here. And we had I mean, again, when HSC was around, some of the pros tried to play with it a bit. Nurok being one of them, he tried to get some use out of it in a game or two, and the team very quickly abandoned the idea of ever using that talent. It's just not good. Especially when you start to fall behind, you will have a horrible, horrible time here. We have at least Death Dealer together with it, so that's kind of what you want to go for. Blue team is currently wrecking this, to be absolutely honest with you. I mean, early kills already, super aggressive as I said from Vitra. He also keeps his stack on the Hot's pursuit up the entire time. So I am actually a little bit surprised. I honestly, if I would have had to guess, I would not put him into bronze or gold here. We might have a little bit of a ringer that is a bit higher in his level of play and is currently trying to farm down here. Maybe as a sub or something. But he currently seems to be a little bit better as the rest of these players. So normally when we're looking at Vala players on Division 7, they don't really have the mechanics that we're currently seeing here. Not saying the guy plays like a god, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of obvious a bit that he's at least outpacing some of his opponents here. So 2 kills against 2, as we're focusing also at the bit of the rest of the team. We currently have Cleanse ready for Rhaegar. There's 2 kills against 2, so it's not really that the blue team is too far ahead, but they got a lot of value out of the first Immortal, getting the entire wall and also being able to get the fort at the bottom of the map to 50% HP. Even with the 3 heroes around, it seems like he's going to be able to get some of his auto attacks connected. Yep. Dodging out on Karskab here. Gets a few more stacks in. So far, so good. Top side still being pushed. Cams are taken. One on the right, one on the left. They actually sniff Mal'Ganis out. Jack Sully goes for the slide. There's the follow-up. Can they get the kill? Nah, there's not enough damage around to really do anything about Rhaegar. Jaina wasn't able to deliver the damage fast enough to do anything about that. Vala, in the meantime, still continues her stacking and is doing whatever she can. And top side is where we still have our 1 versus 1 battle between Sonya and Leoric. Yeah, and Sonya can be pretty powerful on this map in particular. The spin to win on the shrines is quite nice for you. We have good global play or macro play on the side of the Facepalm Tacticians so far as well. They got the level 10 ready. That gives us the mosh pit. Oh, leap! We actually get leap. Okay, Sonya is coming in with a big wah! And we have on top of that also the Entomb, the Twilight Dream, the Ring of Frost, and the Frost Blast. What? Okay, Frost Blast is part of this. Frost Blast into a leap of Sonya. And Ancestral. That's actually kind of sad. On the higher level of play, by now we only see Bloodlust since the talent has been buffed. But when you look at the lower leagues, the news hasn't really arrived there that now you get more value out of Rhaegar if you pair it with a couple of nice auto attackers and then go into a Bloodlust combo. So we still see them play with Ancestral instead. A little bit of Death Dealer value here from our Vala player as the next shrine is announced. Top side this time. Another 20 seconds until we're going to see the big battle with level 10 abilities, which we so far didn't have. And yeah, let's have a bit of a look. But the leap is definitely a bit memey. I mean, I love myself a few memes, don't get me wrong. But you will be hard-pressed to find a good Sonya player that doesn't take Wrath of the Berserker for a good reason. The leap is a very YOLO approach towards the game. A lot of fun, of course, especially if you can combo it. But by no means the best talent on level 10. Pretty much never played on any high-level Sonya. You want to have a lot of other things out of her, not the leap. But anyways, it's going to be fun, especially, of course, with the Kel'Thuzad in already, having him together with the Frost Blast, having the opportunity for Mal'Ganis to set something up for Sonya. So this is going to be fun for sure. If they can lock, for example, Vala down, a good leap, arrow follow-up, or the other way. Yeah, exactly like this. And they can get the kill. There it is, but the ring and the Rhaegar kill. ETC is down 2. Vala with a Rain of Vengeance here quite quickly. Leo's dead as well. 3 versus 2. But that's exactly the kind of combo that I wanted to see here. Hanzo's arrow or sleep setup from Mal'Ganis and then the leap. They go for a bit of a blow-up composition here. The problem with it is you have to kill the target. If you don't kill the target, you're going to be in a world of pain. So, on level 13, interesting. So we actually get the Earth Living Enchant, which is a little bit weird, to be honest. These days, when you go into Bloodlust, you don't have to go into your Earth Shield anymore. Normally, with Ancestral Healing on 13 for Rhaegar, you want to go into the Earth Shield so that you get actually the well, you put the shield first on the target, and then you try to get the Ancestral through, and the shield helps you to just bridge that small gap where you're channeling the heroic ability, and that's something that they don't have here. That's exactly the reason why he died. If he had Earth Shield, he could go for the Lightning Shield there, and then could drop that. That didn't happen, so Mal'Ganis is down. Rhaegar is also eliminated. So that's a bit of a problem. And yeah, Tidal Waves is normally also the pick that we see when Bloodlust is taken. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a look at the rest of the setup here. Also the Tempered by Discipline. We're already 10 minutes into the game now. And Vala is soon going to complete the level 4 quest and is then going to get some value out of it. But again, I feel it becomes pretty transparent that our Vala player there is a bit better. Could honestly have also gone into Strafe. Strafe is kind of the priority choice if you don't need to go into Reign of Vengeance. Reign of Vengeance is usually not a choice that you make, it's usually something that you're forced into, where you're saying, okay, I have to do this because I need to be safe against the melee assassin, I need to be safe against an ETC that can get a mosh pit, we don't have enough counters for that. Strafe is just way better for the damage output in a big team fight if used properly. That's what you also see on the higher level of play for that reason. Reign of Vengeance is very good though and can be nicely used, and they are currently pairing this off with the Ring and also with the Entomb, so it's actually not a horrible choice. Still going for the fight at the bottom of the map. De Niro has been trying to take the camp. Yeah, ooh, he's actually going a little bit deep for this. I mean, even with Rhaegar around, needs to be careful. 28,000 damage for Vala at this point. And in we go. There's that. Okay. There's again. Frost Blast. This time no Sonya Leap. Yeah, she wasn't around, but there's the kill against Vala. Vala down, but not before she completed the quest and took Khaldor down. The kill against Hanzo, though. Nearly 15. 8 kills against 7. I mean, this is clutch, guys. This is actually incredibly close right now. Only one that hasn't died in this entire game yet is Jaina. Jaina survived everything here. Our little Frost Lady. Okay, and there's the kill against... No. Full-on setup, by the way, for the Blizzard on 13 and 16 for Jaina. The fort at the bottom of the map has been taken down by Dragon on his Leo, who just simply said, guys, if you want to brawl in the middle, be my guest. I'm going to take care of the structures. Same is happening topside, where Sonya is also trying to take a camp, but while she does that... This is getting pushed out. Honestly, if Black Milk... What the fuck is Black Milk, by the way? Black Milk sounds disgusting. That sounds absolutely disgusting. Like, what's Black Milk? I know White Milk, and I guess if you let it stand for too long, it becomes pretty disgusting. But, like, Black Milk? What do you have to do to that Black Milk? I know Brown Milk. That's pretty much just like if you have... I mean, like, chocolate flavored or something in there. But black? That's just weird. Like, honestly, I don't know what that guy does to his milk, but it sounds disgusting. Probably smells bad, too. Anyways, Jack Sully is trying to see if he can set something up, maybe even with a mosh pit. So far, that's not the case. Vala gets attacked. Whoa! The arrow, and kill, or you have a problem. There's the kill. You need to get the insta-kill if you want to go for such a wombo, and it wasn't really that well-timed anyways. They stacked all the stuns on one. Sonya is still dead. You are a one-trick show at this point. That's the problem here. Jaina goes down, so a 2-for-1 trade. That's good for Sose. They're going to try and get a little bit more out of this, and they execute it kind of nicely. Again, timing is a bit off, but still, it works. And they get a follow-up kill against Jack Sully too, so all said and done. This is a 1v4. Or 4 kills for once, so that was actually pretty nice. But they need to be a little bit careful. In an ideal world, you would kind of coordinate who throws the first stun. Either Hanzo or Sonya. Because the problem is, you need to get the kill. And with Nature's Cure on level 7, if Malfurion reacts quickly, he might just be able to save the target. And that's the big problem right now. So you really have all your hopes and dreams banking on the combo. And if the combo doesn't kill, then you are just screwed. Because you then... pretty much wasted 2-3 heroic abilities in the attempt to take a target down, and they can easily turn it against you. It worked so far though. 10 kills against 9. It's not too bad. So there's nice momentum for Sose going on as they are heading into the shrine, so that's good for them. Slight lead in kills, slight lead in experience, nothing fancy, but they are about to grab the Punisher, and that's important. That's really important here. That's also one of the moments where maybe Gloom would have been a good choice for Vala on the level 13 talent. She has Manticore now, and once that Farfly Quiver is in, that's going to be even worse. Well, that's a kill that shouldn't have happened. losing Kel'Thuzad in that situation. Not really good if you're trying to push with the Immortal, and so far that's very likely not going to do a whole lot for them. Jaina by now has at least fallen once, but yep, there's the bait over. Okay, just over the wall. And they're going to defend this one easily. There's nobody really pushing. I mean, there's a little bit of posturing going on. It's not like this is really a threat level or anything. There we go. There's the hit coming. Another big jump is already in. Jack Sully, alright. That trick needs to get away too. They're trying to set something up here. Arrow is in. But no leap. Oh, dancing. Time to dance, baby. Sonya went down, and I think they can follow this up with maybe even a second kill against Rhaegar. Yep, Rhaegar is dead as well. Okay. That's 12 kills to 10. And half a level to 20 for the Facepalm Tacticians. Alright, so with that said, Midra is now going for the next camp. We have one taken on the right side. Leo's going top side. He wants the 20. Get himself that buried alive. That is trouble brewing. Especially, of course, with the Farflight Quiver now. That's going to make Vala's life so much easier. Cold Snap for the cooldown reduction. A lot of powerful level 20 abilities that they now have. And even outside of the next shrine, they should be able to push this very aggressively right now. That could be a very aggressive push that they execute now. Try and go maybe even for like keep wall with the half level that they have. At least the top, the mid fort should be eliminated. They have a complete camp setup that they can move into. Kel'Thuzad, hello, hello. Okay, he just committed Sudoku successfully, I might add. Yeah, he went down, and you can't go that deep if you are Kel'Thuzad. The problem is that the hero has no survivability whatsoever. So if you find yourself in that spot, you're just toast, bro. Yeah, they're trying to go for Mal'Ganis. That could be another kill. Oh, and he barely gets away. It's not a good time to be a tank right now. With Vala having her entire setup completed, it means that the auto attacks are going to hit, and they're going to hit hard. And that's not something that Vala is going to be too fond of. Sorry, Mal'Ganis is going to be too fond of. He is going to be the one on the receiving end of that beating. Fort down in the top, fort down in the middle, so all of them eliminated. So far, so good for them. Let's see. Push towards the top. 20 versus 20 now at least. So they have Storm Talents. That is at least something, right? So that's at least one thing that they can do. Which also gives us now the Death Chill. Death Chill is in. Good survival talents with your pain and the nerves of steel now. But the push through the top should be a pretty successful one. 14 kills to 10. And in we go. There's the setup. But you see, they're going for the setup here. That's a cooldown down, but they just ran away from it. And that didn't really do anything. You didn't really have to commit to that here. Now, should be ready in time for the next fight, so I guess it isn't of any big consequence. But that's the problem when you really ult the target and the combo isn't there. If one of the tools on this one goes down, then you are just running into trouble shortly after. And that's pretty much the risk that you take with the execution of this one in particular. So something to definitely watch out for in the big team fight, because this could be what makes or breaks your team fight. So Sonya needs to follow up on this. Another 7 seconds until Kel'Thuzad has his ult ready again. They're trying to make the play over here now, but there is a big lead in stacks. Again, they're sitting at 22. And the problem is Kel'Thuzad hasn't even completed his baseline yet, so they need that for the extra damage output. And him not getting the completion is a big problem in the long run. That's a great setup here. Here comes the move. They're trying to jump in. This time the Nature's Cure was through though, and Vidra is able to make it out. That's a bad look for Sose. They're in trouble now, and they know it too. They're all dropping low, incredibly low at this point in time. And I am not sure if they can really make that work. No, Mal'Ganis is down, Sonya is down. They at least got a counter kill against Jaina, but Vala is still there for the damage, and she is already starting to chase them. Needs to be careful that she doesn't overstep on the other hand. I mean, they could turn against her, but 17 HP? Dude, you really want to move back. I know there's a healing ward right there, but there's also a fountain, and I promise you that you will be better off if you just go on that one. 16 against 11, the kill count. big push top lane now. That catapult together with the camp that they took previously is going to do a lot of damage. Catapult over here is probably going to do the same thing. Keeps are going to be under pressure everywhere on the map at this point. And it's not looking good, especially at the bottom. We will likely see a keep fall. The one at the top is already about to go down. There we have it. One keep eliminated. Leo wasn't even there. Leo went for a camp. There was a camp on the map, and Leo can't have that. This is Division 7 after all. There's a reputation to lose. Need to go for the camp. So, with that, we're seeing them moving in. There's the setup on Vala. They're attacking her again. She's currently at 72,000. And I'm calling Ringer. I am calling Ringer. I've casted my fair share of Division 7 games, but I highly doubt that that guy is bronze to gold. So again, it is an average, of course. As I said, if it's a top team, it's a bit different. But yeah, that does look like we have definitely someone who's a little bit more skilled on the mechanical side than the rest of the players over here. Vila goes down regardless though, but a huge impact from him in this game. De Niro, on the other hand, he is about to fall, and that is game, as we have the lead in this best of 3 series in Division 7 for the Facepalm Tacticians. Game number 2. Let's go. Tomb of the Spider Queen in our Division 7 match. On the left side, the Facepalm Tacticians with Jack Sully on Tyrael, Dragon on Leoric, Malice on Brightwing, Vitra on Greymane this time over his Vala play in game number 1. Black Milk on Nazeebo, and on the right side of the map, Shemi on Anubarak, Siomatak on Lucio, we have Atrek on Kel'Thas, Blaze, sorry, Kasgap is the one on Kel'Thas, and De Niro on Lulnara. Okay, a little bit of a different setup here. It's actually a bit of a wild combo if you think about it, on both sides. I mean, first of all, Brightwing, God, why would you do that to yourself? If they want to have a handicap, then pick something else, but that is just... I mean, it's the wrong map for the... First of all, it's not really a good hero in most hands. If you want to get value out of Brightwing, you need to play at top level. And even there, it is more or less impossible. But playing a hero like Brightwing that hinges heavily also on the abilities to use the global on this map, which is one of the smallest, is a bit of a stretch. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out for them. But, well, maybe they can surprise us. When it comes to Nazeebo, I personally don't really mind Nazeebo these days anymore, because the average game length has been increased a bit through those tower and fort changes. Question is just simply if players can make it work, but generally speaking, you should now be able to get Nazeebo into the late game. So with that, on a map like this one, where you can have heavy rotations between lanes so that you get the stacks quicker towards your baseline, that could be a hero that at least on lower levels plays more of a role, maybe even on the higher level gets played again every now and then. But as it stands, we're of course looking also to towards Greymane. Vitra had a fantastic game 1. Let's see if he can pull it off in game number 2 as well. When it comes to the setup for the red team, I'm also a little bit confused with some of the hero choices there. Now, Anubarak was always a hero that excelled at 2 things. You either could go and try to go for an execution comp where you moved in with an Uberak for the stun. You followed up with either Tyrande back in the days, or these days with Malfurion to get the kill in, and a little bit of burst damage. Now they have none of that, so it isn't really a one-shot comp that we're seeing from them. The other play where you saw Anubarak, and that's actually where he was plicked with Lucio quite a lot, was when you were trying to dive towards towers with the Greymane in your hands, maybe a hero that allowed for fast rotation like Lucio, and then you let the tower shots soak by the beetles and they could go in. Doesn't really work the same way anymore now that the tower aggro is different. I mean, as long as there's no hero there, you can still make that play, but it has definitely been nerfed a little bit. So it's surprising to me to see Anubarak in this setup. I think another hero might have been the better one for them. But the engage, at least in this case, works, so they are able to get the Greymane kill. And as I said previously, of course, this is low-level play, so comfort picks play a huge role here. It's not like these players are playing the game every single day for hours and have a huge hero pool. There will be certain swaps even between games in roles when one player doesn't play a certain hero, they need a tank, someone else jumps in. So that always has to be taken into consideration here. But when we talk about meta and what usually is getting played, still a bit of an idea of what's going on here. So I'm not quite sure what the bans were in this one. Again, I'm obviously casting this one from replays, so there's no actual draft. But for the blue team in particular, Rhaegar would have been insane here. Bloodlust Rhaegar with a newly buffed Bloodlust, that would have been absolutely top-notch. You have Tyrael already for the Sanctification, you have Greymane together with it, and if you watch the in-house league, for example, you already know that towards the later rounds, especially also when we were looking towards the Tetra tournament, we had a ton of stuff here. The Don't Panic Cup was pretty great with this, and Rhaegar, Tyrael plus Greymane was a huge staple. That was a little bit of a self-trap that we saw over there. But they're still fine. Good stun coming through against the Brightwing. But yeah, the Fruit Fly is still alive, at least for now. It's gonna fall eventually. 1 kill against 0. And I like that we have Kelthas on the other side. If you're a Fruit Fly infestation, one of the last resorts is to burn it with fire. I can heavily recommend. Totally worth. But Blaze gets already out with the Dirt Propulsion here. Also, Nazeebo on level 4 with a big Voodoo. And he gets some decent stacks together. Again, he is at 52 already. We're early in the game. Both teams now have enough gems to get the full-on turn-in. So that's something that they can check out. Well, check out, I mean just like turn in, you know, get that going. Oh, a little bit of an adjustment here as well. The Sun King's Fury seems to be that we are seeing a light bomb variation over Flame Strike. Okay. Anubara comes in deep again. They at least interrupt. Channel on the bottom of the map though, as Dragon turns in another 7 gems. But there's only another 8 needed for the red team to get the first Web Weavers, and both of their frontliners have plenty. We have 8 on Blaze and 11 on Anubarak, and Anubarak is the one to turn in. And there we have it. Needs mana though. Oh, and he goes Beetles on 7. Dude, what the hell? Leeching Scarabs, really? Alright. The Leeching Scarabs. Interesting. Yeah, Scarab builds are a little bit like, let's call it weird. But okay. Yeah, Web Weaver time. Problem is still that he doesn't really have a lot of mana. Not sure if it has his fountain cooled or not, but I actually thought so he would have been well advised to move in and try and use that. Top lane, Lulnara against Nazeebo. And with that, we currently have still a little bit of pushing going on. The problem is they're actually splitting on pretty much every single lane right now, and I don't think they're going to get too much out of that. They get some damage here in the middle and nearly take a tower down. Gate at least has fallen. Might be able to take the entire thing. Yes, they do. Obliterating the fountain, of course, would be the dream, but I don't think it's going to work out for them. Vidra has taken quite a bit of damage. Pops the fountain on the other hand. Top side, wall is also down. Good for them. And at the bottom of the map, Leo was able to shut this down pretty quickly. But still, first Web Weavers in, get a bit of damage done, structures down, a lot of those eliminated. Nazeebo with a bit of a mix now, mixing it up on the level 7 talent and going into the frogs, the toad setup here for him. It's still level 10 is what we're playing around for now. Okay, there's the stun. Nice! And here comes the follow-up attempt. Yeah, Vidra needs to be a little bit careful in this game. They definitely start to have his number here. So the aggression that he showcased on Vala in game number 1 doesn't really seem to work for him any longer. First of all, with Greymane, of course, he's playing a little bit closer to the opponent's team, but they really try to stack these stuns now to lock him in quickly. Pyroblast! It is meme time, baby! The Pyroblast setup. The Emerald Wind, Pyroblast, at least we get Bunker, that's something. Web, Leap, Gary, and Judgment! What are you doing with Judgment with that combo? Judgment, Bullet? Talk about weird setups. I would have rather liked them to go for False and Hinterland Blast together with that, if anything. Maybe get, I don't know, a J9 or something, but that's a weird follow-up that they are looking for here. The bullet has already hit him. Anubara comes in with the cocoon. They're trying to set it up here. Off we go. And, well, what can they do with it? Nothing so far. Just shutting him down. Quest is nearly completed for Nazeebo. There it is. Talking about this level 1. Baseline is at 100, so that's nice. Okay. And off we go. Jaxel has not a lot of hit points here. Again, mana points, sorry. Mana is obviously one of those things that you need to be topped up a little bit. You can't just spam your abilities out the entire time, because if it actually comes to a team fight like this and you don't have any mana, then you won't be able to do anything. And that's a huge problem, especially on the lower leagues. That was a nice trap, but using one of the stacks to just jump out of it, no problem here. Turn-in available for both teams. There's the interrupt. They're moving in already, and Pyro, and 0 value. That fruit fly was dead already. You might have been able to get... Actually, I don't even think that the Pyro Blast connected here. I think it was the Living Bomb that took him down. So, yeah, as usual. But didn't go on the full cooldown either, so that's good. Therefore, he still has it available, and here we go! Nope. Nope. Was trying to go for the kill, but the follow-up is there. The follow-up with Lucio is there, and Greyman is down. That feels a bit bad. He at least got the beetle, though, so that's something. Kazgab. Yeah, they got 3 kills against 1. That was a decent trade for them, too. But they still need to turn in, and that's something where they haven't really made any plays yet. That is 30 gems secured, though. So that's good for them already. 30 gems are in. Yep. Gets that set up. 49 now in total, which means another 6, and they are good. Pull him off, and Bambi gets killed in the middle of the leap. 13 is on the board now, but of course they're looking at the numeric disadvantage on the map, and that might be a problem. Dragon needs to be really careful down here, though. He has 24 gems. He can't just die, and if he moves into those 2, then that might become a problem. So the red team turns in. It was actually Lucio that delivered the final few gems. That's another web weaver wave for them, as they are attempting to snowball that a little bit. 13 is there. Kel'Thas on the run, and no mana. Doesn't have any mana either. Okay. Let's get a little bit of a look over here. Yeah, web weavers in the middle. I mean, they seem to be trying to push with that, and rotation towards the top would also be possible. This is actually what they do. They didn't take the wave down first, so Nazebo knows fully well what's happening. Yeah, they can get the stun, though. Nicely done, and that should be a kill. They can't actually get it. No, that's not the way you do it. If you want to make that play with Cocoon, then you drop the Cocoon first, not last. They should still be able to get the kill. But that's a little bit of an awkward one, because there could have been a rotation, and Brightwing actually comes in. Pyro Blast! And the kill! MLG kill against Brightwing. Another dead fruit fly. Only a dead fruit fly is a good fruit fly. Death to all Brightwings. They kill Leo. That's 32 gems. Oh, the double kill, the 4 down. And they go for Nazebo. Nazebo is there too. Nice setup here. Sose able with 6 kills to 2 to set themselves a little bit apart, and they make the play for boss, and there's nobody there that can actually stop them. 3 on the board. Leo gonna come back, but Nazebo isn't there. So that was a fantastic setup right now. Denying gems to the opponent. Getting the push going. Taking a 4 down. Blue team turns in, so they trade the boss defense for the web weavers. But nicely done. That one hurt. That one hurt a lot. There's a lot of gems down the drain. There's a lot of structures that were eliminated. By the way, including the fort in the middle, which fell a bit later, but it fell. And now the boss is pushing topside. The blue team, thanks to their web weaver turn in, is going to be able to defend it without any problems. But it comes at a cost, of course. And that cost is the easy defense for Sose, the red team, against the web weavers. There won't be anything there. Oh, you gotta appreciate that. It's like, hide in the corner. They can't see me. Yeah, he got lucky there. They actually didn't see him. Well, they didn't realize that he was still there. But if they would have sniffed him out, that's of course a dead Tyrael. So he can Hearthstone back and survives all of that. But yeah, that became interesting. I'm never a fan of backdraft, by the way, as a talent. I think you can get way more value out of all the other talents that you have here. As the movement speed's low, it's kind of okay if there's like a massive front line that you want to control. But in a game like this, I don't really think so. There's the snipe attempt. Nice reaction out of Lucio. Gets the sound barrier in. That judgment didn't do anything. Yep, Kel'Thas was judged and found innocent. I'm more surprised that nobody rotated topside to take down the web weavers yet, but it seems like Lunara is on the job. So she makes the play. In terms of damage, 35,000 for Greymane. Yeah, down here, Bunk on the ground. I'm so happy that we see Bunker. In Division 7, you normally always see just simply the attempt to get damage out. So it's, oh yeah, Bunker is not usually the choice here. I'm really, really happy to see Bunker. It is by far the better talent. I mean, it's not even a contest. It's just like night and day. So seeing a team trying to play around Bunker and really make the proper plays here just warms my heart. Big shout out. The level 16 talent on Nubarak is honestly a massive fail. I mean, this is absolutely horrible. You can't pick this talent. This is total trash. There's one talent on level 16 for Nubarak, and I mean, again, it's Epicenter. It's Epicenter, 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 Epicenter. So don't ever take this Beetle talent. Beetle build in general is just like weird. And if you want to engage in fights with the Nubarak, which is the reason why you picked the hero in the first place, go for Epicenter. The talent is so unbelievably strong for what it's supposed to do. It is unrivaled on level 16. He, on the other hand, goes into the Beetle juiced over here, so there's a bit of a miss for them, but they're still ahead by quite a bit, so they're ahead in experience, they're ahead in kills. Problematic could be the level 20, since the Zebo is already sitting at 190 stacks nearly, which means that he has, of course, the Violent Infection requirement completed, so that's really, really huge for them. There's another turn now, though, for the red team, and that one could hurt. I mean, this has the chance to maybe even take a keep down, depending on how the team fight goes. That will most likely ensue around this. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a look at the mid lane. I think the mid lane is going to be the attack. And Nubarak with a bit of a weird engage here. Again, maybe a bit too energetic. It was like, we can do it! I don't really think so. But here we go. Okay, the defense is already in. Bottom fort is going to fall. That should not be... I mean, undoubtedly it's going to fall. Nobody's even defending there, so of course that fort is going to be eliminated. Top keep could be attacked over here. Sound barriers in as Tyrell makes the move with the Judgment again, but they are committing to the fight now. Brightwing with the Emerald Wind, trying to push them back, creating a bit of space. Gary is out too. Bunker play has been made, and Leo in trouble. Can barely survive. Nice attempt at a Pyroblast. That didn't work out, though. But they can get the kill against Brightwing. Trashwing is dead. And top and bot lane still get heavily pressured by the Web Weavers. They're looking for more kills. 17 gems on Leo, and he is gonna fall. Can they recover them? Oh, the play! And nope.
Nope.
But the Web Weaver takes him down. All calculated. Oh, that one hurt. That one really hurt. He's like, I can make it. Yes, I'm not dead. Like, that is actually synergy that I didn't think was possible. So Kel'Thuz's coordinated with the Web Weavers here to make it happen. But yeah, that was fantastic. 2 keeps down as a result now, and level 20 for them. What does the boss timer say? Ooh, 10 seconds. Yeah, level 20 talent and boss up. Oh boy, now we're talking. But Greymane is back, so that's a 5 versus 5. You might want to be a bit careful around it. But 2 keeps down, that is a problem. The level 20 talent for Nazebo might be able to change things a little bit, but I don't really think so. They're actually going to go for the trap setup here even. Honestly, at this point you might just want to commit through it. Doesn't really seem like the blue team has any indication of fighting over it. So, yep, that's what they're going to go for. The jump straight onto the boss. How many gems? 36. Yeah, they still have the Wisp around here. Okay, and that boss might even end the game. 17 minutes in. It's not really the biggest problem. Can be defended, especially since they have Nazebo and Greymane on the other side. But with a bit of pressure, maybe even a setup with Cocoon to grab another kill, they have a lot of opportunities to potentially end this. There's the turn in. Yeah, they need to turn all of this in, though, if they really want to get the Web Weavers down. So that could do a lot of work. But the boss is moving on to the core. Web Weavers are going to come down any second. Actually, Brightwing. They don't have enough gems. They didn't turn it in. They don't have enough. I thought they had it, but they don't. Bot lane fort might fall, but who gives a shit about the bot lane fort? Over here, the real trouble is brewing, and that could actually be a kill against Leo, as the boss is already on the core and hammering those shields down. Level 20 talents, and they're making the play for Leo. Leo is down. Here comes the Pyroblast.
Nope.
But Jack Sully is able to get away. Shocking, I know. The core, on the other hand, is losing hit points quickly. Bunker is even be put into place. I love this. Great bunker placement here once again. They get some damage out of it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a tie in the series. We're going to go to map number 3 here in Division 7. The Facepalm Tacticians losing out to Sose on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Game 3, ladies. Let's go. Facepalm Tacticians against Sose. Yeah, but for Sky Foundry, we made it into the 3rd map, and look at that. Vidra has his Vala again. It's actually a double. Well, I guess like Lunara is auto attack. She has also that damage over time, those slows that come into play. So Malice is playing her. We have Dragon on Leo, Jack Sully on Garrosh, and Black Milk on Anduin. On the right side of the map, Sose themselves with Shemi on Anubarak again, Tomalin on Reyna, Simotak on Whitemane, Artrek on Johanna, and Kazgab on Tassadar. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but ooh, that as well. Ace in the hole? Yeah, I guess. I mean, why not? Ace in the hole is not really all that common anymore, but if you play it, it's not like you can't play the talent anymore. It's most Executioner, but you have good slows on their side, so yeah, don't mind the talent at all. A bit surprising to me, given the preference for Executioner after the recent patches, but still. What surprises me a little bit is that we have Anubarak plus Johanna. That doesn't really make any sense. I don't really know why they ended up with that particular setup, but that's not really what you want. They don't really have a side laner in that sense now, so it's pretty much 2 tanks that they play. It's a little bit weird. They could definitely do with some other lineups here. Is a 2-man setup at the bottom of the map right now, and Anubarak going apparently into a full build this time. Now, I don't like that at all. This is not what Anubarak is really trying to do as a hero in a competitive game. And yes, Division 7 is, of course, the lowest division of Heroes Lounge, but still, this is, per definition, competitive play. So, might want to walk away from that Anubarak a little bit. As I said earlier, though, you have to work with the hero pool that these players have. They don't practice the game 3 hours a day, so hero pools will be a little bit smaller, and you have to just simply adjust your draft also to preference picks. So that's another reality here. With Vala going into Hot Pursuit again, I mean, normally you would see a multi-shot build, but given what we saw in game number 1, I don't doubt for a second that we're going to have Creed of the Noob again. I'm not going to really go over the talent too much. I did it in game number 1. Again, suffice to say, you do not win a game because of Creed of the Hunter. You win a game despite you pick the talent. It is never the better choice. And I mean this. Creed of the Hunter is never the better choice. Yes, you can win a game with it, especially if your opponent's team is worse than your team is. But, again, it is never a talent that contributes to your victory. You are always better off going into a multi-shot build. Anyways, Vala is still doing her thing, so at the top side, Tassadar has been taken out. This is, of course, the reworked Tassadar that we're talking about here. Level 1, we have the Psy Infusion and the Electric Fence on level 4. The Donald wants a piece of that. Him and Tassadar, they're the best friends. They're really friendly, because Tassadar, he has the best fence, and he's always putting the wall in. Okay, so with Tassadar dropping the wall, or at least trying to, for isolation, they could have good follow-ups in this one, with especially, I want to say, a good Blessed Shield. Always assuming that we're going for a Blessed Shield here. Yep, there it is. Creed of the Hunter is in. And the first control point is unlocking in just a second now too. So let's see who's gonna take this one. I mean, there's a slightly inexperience. If they get level 7 on the back of that, that would be great. It would give them the early talent lead for this one. So that would be nice. But let's see. I mean, it will be a little bit tricky. Top line is where they currently let Vala still stack. That really shouldn't happen. You should always punish her for that. That was a good attempt there, at least. You set a wall up around this, that might be nice. Lunara, on the other hand, is now allowed to hold the middle alone. I don't really know what's going on up here. I don't know what the red team is doing. So first of all, they're not really getting any extra experience. The opponent has level 7. They allowed them to get a 50% lead already. Now they have a talent advantage on top of it. So there's actually a lot of things that are working now in favor of the facepalm tacticians that shouldn't be the case. The red team should have had at least one hero over here that forces a bit. Very early deployment of the turret always shouldn't really do that either. Keep your turrets a little bit. Wait for a moment when the fight is really starting up. You don't want to waste your items, especially when you were able to steal one away from the opponent, as they just did. But this is, of course, a freebie, so they get the first protector quite easily here. And that's a very, very good start now for the facepalm tacticians. That, on the other hand, didn't really do a whole lot of work in the mid lane. Normally you want to take that wall down, but the main goal is, of course, to take the top fountain apart. Once that is destroyed, you have a better chance to win the top shrine as well, or the top checkpoint. But you have to break through that, first of all. There's not really too much happening around it just yet, but here we go. One tower down, and they make their play for the fountain. Very aggressively. Again, they're just simply saying, okay, this is all that we need to take down. Let's take the fountain, move away from it, and we're good to go. And it's pretty much true. You want to do much damage than them. It wasn't the best objective use. They didn't take a single wall down, but eliminating the fountain is still key. It's still the main goal, so fair enough. The first one isn't that strong anyways. Valla can get some easy stacks in. Now, they picked... I mean, honestly, I don't really... Again, these are games that we're casting from replay, right? So this is not... Division 7 is not something that is so high on the priority list that we're jumping into these live games. They're always scattered around too. So I don't know how the draft ended. I would not be surprised to find out in hindsight that they started things up with an Anuburak tank. Then Valla gets picked. And they panic into Johanna for blind. Wouldn't shock me in the slightest. Now, I'm guessing here, of course. I don't actually know. It's a little bit of a wild assumption, but I would not be surprised if it turns out that that was what happened here. That they felt, oh my god, we need a blind, they have Valla again. One of the things that also really works well against this is just a well-placed stun and then follow-up damage for control. So there's a few things that you can definitely do with it. But either way, they have now that front line, and so they can work with that. There are a lot of stuns and CCs that they have. I mean, if you really are worried about Valla, for example, you can go in, you can try and cocoon her, you can cocoon Anduin and then make the move there. Go for a different target, turn it into temporary 5 versus 4, and follow up quickly. Cocoon, stun another target, go in with Jojo, drop the Blessed Shield, and a few of those heroes. So that's pretty much what you can try and set up. We have the black hole in play. Okay, so there's that. The rest of the talents, as you would expect. Again, Rain of Vengeance for Valla, as we saw in level 1. There are, of course, interrupts against her. But let's see. Level 7 talent on Anuburak, he's going to go into a full beetle build. Yeah, we're going to see that level 16 pick again for him. He will pick 16 beetles again. Has the Legion Scarabs. Again, guys, if you want to play Anuburak, think about what the hero is trying to supply the team with, right? Like, he is trying to be that engaged hero that dives in and sets the fight up. So this is not a build that you want to use for him. If you want to have a sustainable tank, then you should go into a different choice here. You should not pick a Anuburak for that. So normally, if you don't go for a Carapace build, then you really want to play around the Subterranean Shield and Underking and then go into Epicenter. And no matter what build you go for, Epicenter on level 16 is pretty much mandatory. So yeah, don't fall into this trap here. They set this up with a good and well-placed stun. They should be able to get the kill here. Where's the stun? There it is, and there's the kill. Nicely done. Can they keep the rest of the team alive? Doesn't seem like they can. Okay. But again, 2 kills against 1, so they made that happen. They have now also the access to the top. Oh, that could be a good kill if they get that. Yeah. Come to Papa. And goodbye. Even claiming the item. What? Why? I like that they claimed the item here, but why would you immediately put the turret on the ground? That makes no sense. You guys had a really good item advantage for a second. You had a double turret going that you could have used for the fight that is most likely still going to happen over objective number 2. That was a little bit awkward. That shouldn't have happened. I mean, Valla by now is at 57 stacks. Again, 8 minutes in, so already top damage for her. But up to this point, the talent doesn't give her anything. And don't get me started on that 10% attack speed. It's like, no, but Khaldor. Yeah, that doesn't do jack shit for you. For the average Vala player, if your name isn't Snitch or Rich, this doesn't do anything for you. But either way, here's the Protector. Not being fought over. Items instead is what they are claiming. At the bottom of the map, and over here Dragon is going for another turret now as well. Okay, the flip up at the top, the rotation down to the bottom. I guess they're gonna go for the bottom fountain. Yeah, but a Nubarak going down there, that hurts. That shouldn't happen. And White Mint is now also in trouble. I mean, she gets slowed, she gets stunned, and that could be a kill, should be a kill, but it's White Mint, so she gets out. But yeah, a very quick rotation of the Protector down to the bottom of the map as they're now trying to break down the wall and take the fountain down. So there's that. Okay, take that fountain down. Come on, come on. I mean, there's nobody else with them. That's a bit of a problem. But the fountain is eliminated, so that's already good for the fight here. That's all that they wanted to do. Good, gets the fist connected. Still Jimmy. Oh, nice. Use the conveyor belt to escape here. I like that. Jojo was never in real trouble. Especially not with the iron skill ups. That was good. 3 against 2. The quest is nearly done for Vala, but you can definitely tell that she has a bit more... she has a bit more problems now when it comes to actually getting the damage out here. Less shield setup could always be nice if they can connect it. It's still a 4 versus 5 at the bottom of the map. In favor of the blue team. So... Sose needs to be careful here. 16,000 damage for Jimmy isn't really a whole lot. Tacita is trying to catch up with the 14k that he brings to the table. Pushed out the top lane, so that's actually another fountain that is likely going to fall here. Yep, that one's down. And at the bottom of the map, it's time for items again. Items are key. If you're playing on Volskaya Foundry, you want to have item control. That's why at the 1 minute mark when the first camps spawn, you see teams move over to them immediately. And let's have a look a bit of what's happening over here. Yeah, Cup goes in, tries to get the camp now. 0 deaths on Leo. Trade value not activated. Vala's trying to hold the bottom. You know, this is a kill. This is a kill. If you know that they are top, that's a cocoon, and then you dive and kill that fucker. If you have a 4 versus 1 there, you can dive that forward even with the new tower mechanics and kill her. I think someone top lane had view on the opponent's team. If you know where they are, you go in and you take her down. Maybe they didn't realize what was happening topside. They didn't understand that there was a play made for this. I think we saw the rotation through the minions. But yeah, that's a moment where you can utilize your cocoon, set the kill up, move in, and just take her down. And that happens so quickly that keep or that fort is not going to do a lot about you. Manticore is coming in. This is really the moment when Vala is going to be able to pressure the tank line a lot. And once that the Fafakir is in, there should be a blessed shield now. Oh, dude! I mean, they get the kill, but... Oh, that one didn't look good. That one didn't look good, no. They get the kill, though. Let's just imagine for a moment the blessed shield actually connected, and that's what led to the kill. Great job, Johanna. Jake, great job. That one was... Yeah, well done, well done. The blessed shield and then the follow-up leads to an easy kill. The feedback is in as well. And we have now also the psychic shock. As already feared and dreaded, the level 16 talent of Nubarak is indeed Beetlejuiced. He goes for the full Beetle build here. The fight's still in the middle of the map. Keep in mind, Cocoon is up and Vala is down. Again, you can force fights. If you end up... This is where you need to be more aggressive. If you have a Nubarak, especially when you have him paired with another full tank, and you have a better situation in the game, doesn't matter why that is. You have a 4 versus 1 at the bottom of the map, you have a 5 versus 4. Drop that cocoon, force that fight. You have the tool to engage, you have the chance to actually force a battle in your favor. That's what you want to do. In this case, they're going for him. Nicely done, I like that. It was a good trap. Great reaction from Anduin, but that was a good trap. I like that. Couldn't get anything done here, but it was a really nice trap. It was a good reaction from Anduin. The initial setup was actually fantastic. And they're still fairly low here. Now, the bottom checkpoint is in. That's 3 turrets. Now, the one thing that you need to keep in mind, don't just drop those turrets because you have them. Wait it out a little bit. Get a bit of a lead. Don't drop all of them immediately. Play this out properly. You still have the fountain. Tap the fountain. They try to get another item right now, so huge item advantage for them. That is a fight that they should be able to take, or where they at least should be able to trade kills very well. Okay, already moving in. Trying to take the minion wave down. That's the first step. Could also use the radar for a bit of scouting. Yeah, and with all the items that they have and the engage potential that we talked about previously, you can make your play now. Okay, so they're starting to make the play slowly. But again, yeah, there's the condemn. Keep the iron skin. No, don't use the iron skin that quickly. You want to wait that out a little bit. That didn't give them any value now, especially against Garrosh. When he starts to flip you over, you need that. Cocoon is in, but there's no fight. There's the stun. Do they get the follow-up? No, she repositions. No problem for her. Taunt is in on Garrosh, and they are all in the Entomb. Oh my god. 2 down. Yes, the turrets have been placed, at least a few of them. Altric should probably drop his as well. Drop the turret! He forgot about it, and it's on the ground, and the same is true for Johanna. They forgot 2 of their turrets, didn't drop them. Lost 4 heroes, and that was just... What is he doing? Hello, team? Well, okay. That was a big Subaru moment that we had there. Top lane, that fort at least is gonna fall, likely. Actually, I don't really think it will. No, especially not with Vala moving in. But yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate. They didn't use their items properly. They also kind of YOLO'd into that fight. They were desperately trying to get the cocoon on to Lunara, but instead of forcing the fight around her, without her being part of the battle, they waited too long and then ran full into that choke point, where Entomb, Rain of Vengeance, and the Taunt of Garrosh just demolished them. So, really unfortunate setup for them here. It was a little bit chaotic, and I think after the initial setup didn't work for them, they just panicked completely. With 2 of them not ever even dropping the turret, that was a huge problem there. But that fight should have been way better for them. Yeah, the cocoon use, I'm really not too big of a fan of it. And again, Epicenter. I'm coming back to the point. Epicenter, Epicenter, Epicenter. Beetlejuice, the Beetle build in general, it's just trash. Don't go for it. Like, play around the Nubarak the way that he's supposed to be played, as an engaged hero, as an engaged tank. Not someone that sets up the stun for the team, that initiates into the team fight. If you want to have the sustain tank, then don't pick him, pick someone else. Yeah, that didn't do anything here for him. Bot lane, the keep is still in play. Very rarely do you see the 3rd Punisher these days, or the 3rd Protector do a whole lot on the map. Most of the time, it's literally either just only the wall at the keep, a little bit of damage on it, or maybe the keep itself, but it's been a while since I've seen a 3rd Protector take the core down, for example. Okay, so 20 is in. Farfly Quiver on Vala, Buried Alive. A lot of fantastic tools now available, of course, for them. Damage output with the 52,000 for Vala. 0 deaths on Leo and on Anduin. As items up, could at least take this one, which they're trying to get. They have half a level disadvantage to level 20, so that's the first thing that they really need to look for. Grab that level 20, play around it. Grab it quickly, and that's something that they should do as fast as they can. Right, 30,000 damage for Tassada, by the way, has taken over the top damage on the blue team side. Oh, sorry, the red team side. And here's level 20. Okay, so now we're talking. Now we're having level 20 on both sides. Judgment Day is in. The Indestructible has been chosen. Rewind for Anubarak. And we got the Kala's Gift, the spell power advantage on Tassada for the team fights. But alright, with that, let's go. That might just be what they needed. But again, you have to dodge out on the Entomb. You have to play well with the Cocoon. Force the fight, set it up, turn in 4 versus 5. This is one of the mistakes that a couple of these teams still make, and you've seen that in a few of these fights. I kind of talked about it, or I at least scratched the surface of it. But what I'm basically trying to say is, like, you don't have to always attack the Cocoon target. It's totally fine to just target a hero in the team fight, cocoon him, and push the fight past that hero and go for another target in that 5 versus 4 that you just forced. That's totally fine. And that's something that they haven't really done. Once again, of course, Leo is going to be a huge factor in this battle. But let's have a bit of a look. There's actually a surprising amount of structure still up on the map. I mean, so far only a single fort has been eliminated. I mean, as the game goes longer these days, and as the forts have been made a bit stronger too, we've actually seen quite a few fourth protectors even that didn't even come close to ending the game. Seen a fifth protector already, so yeah. Comes more likely with the new changes now as well, of course. Yeah, there's the safe attempt again. Nicely done. Okay, the stuns are in, and he has the second charge on his trade. Pulls it out. Where's the cocoon? You can still force that fight. They could have done it so early. Also, cocoon and Anduin is a play. Really, why? The cocoon is in as they're trying to retreat. It's an engage tool. This is rough, but Lunara is also low. Vala takes the kill and gets away here. So the communication coordination is definitely suffering a bit. Lunara is down at least. Vala comes in and gets the kill. Has the Death Dealer in. Drops Tassadar. Continues with the kill against Jimmy. Reyna is down, and that's nearly a 5-man wipe. Altrek the only one that is still there. There was so much more potential. They need to coordinate these attacks with the Nubarak a little bit better. They could have, like, again, especially if you know that Anduin is just ruining play after play again throughout the game. You just go in, you dive, and you cocoon Anduin and still go for the target, set the stun up with the Nubarak, follow up with a Blessed Shield, and then Jack Sully doesn't have a chance there, despite his Indomitable level 4. But as it happens, that's a horrible position for them to be in now. I mean, first of all, they are going to be down for pretty much the entire duration of the checkpoint. So Protector number 4 is guaranteed to drop into the hands of the facepalm tacticians. Maybe they can even end the game with it, but that fight was a bit monka-ass there. Too much chaos for sure. 85,000, that's what we have for Vala in terms of the damage output, doubling, more than doubling actually, the numbers that we see on Tassadar right now, and with them now moving in through the bottom, that's going to be the elimination of a keep, so they're prepping the push for the core itself. Tassadar is there, won't be able to do too much, just throw him away, which he does, and everybody else is able to move out here too. Yeah, both of them can still escape. You have Indomitable. You have on top of that, of course, also Leo with a Wraithwalk. Top lane Ford is about to go down to the minion wave. Not gonna fall, but can be picked up whenever they want, if needed, if the game doesn't end here. That's, of course, the big, big if now. Still no deaths on Garrosh and Leo. They're starting to move in as we speak. Let's have a bit of a look. Yeah, they go for Vala. Okay, there's the quick cocoon against her. Now they're going for the fight against the rest of the team. Protectors on the core, on the other hand. They finally get the kill against Leo, who, by the way, didn't place the turret down either. Someone else picked it up and dropped it quickly, but the shields are already falling, and they're falling quickly, and that's going to be a huge problem. This is nearly an impossible hold at this point. I don't think they can do anything about this one anymore. Nope, our Division 7 game ends in favor of the facepalm tacticians as they lock in a victory on Volskaya Foundry and take this series with a 2-1 W. GG, and well played.